Hello everyone, my name is Shreya and I'm a legal intern at Lexus and Company. I am pursuing the LLB honors from Law College Dehradun Uttaranchal University. I am currently in 7th semester. I am glad to have this opportunity of interning at Lexus and Company, because of which I am able to present to you guys with this video. So the purpose and topic for this video will be will or the Wasiyat Nama under the Muslim law in India. So let's begin. So Wasiyatnama is the document which embodies the will of the testator. It shows the will of that person making the will, or the person who is the owner of that property. So Wasiyat means the will of the testator, and the Hidayah is the leading authority on wills. So the will is a divine institution according to the Muslim law. So Tayabji defines will as a means of legal declaration of the intentions of a Muslim with respect to his property which he desires to be carried into effect after his death. And Bailey defines will as a device for conferring a right of property in a specific thing or in a profit or advantage in a manner of a gratuity postponed till after the death of the testator. So this is what will is according to Tyabji and Bailey. That is the intentions of a Muslim person which will be into effect after his death. So what are the essential conditions of a will? Under the Muslim law, there are some common essentials of a will, that is the legator and legatee must be competent, and there must be a free consent, formalities must be completed, the property must be bequeathable, and the legator must possess the testamentary right. So if you fulfill these conditions, only then you will be able to make a proper will. So what is the capacity of a person who makes the will? Every Muslim who is of sound mind is entitled to make a will, and he must not be a minor. According to Indian Majority Act, 13 is the age when he attains the majority, where he can make a will, and a will which is made under coercion, undue influence, or fraud will be invalid. So these were the capacity regarding the Muslim person making the will. And if we consider the restrictions which are imposed on the Muslim law, that uh, mm, under these conditions you will not be able to make a will, are that he should not bequeath more than one third of the his net estate, that is called as the bequeathable third. That is, you cannot dedicate your whole property, you can only dedicate one third of your property as the will. And he should not bequeath to his own heirs. However, the bequest is valid if other heirs give their consent on the death of the testator. That is, you can give your will to your own heirs also. If you want to give your will to your heirs, then your other heirs should give their consent that it is fine with them if you give your property to your heirs. So, and the will fail if these restrictions are not followed. So it is very important to follow these restrictions. So moving on, what is the object behind the making of will? The will is invalid if the will is opposed to Islam. Hence, will to build a Hindu temple, Christian church will be void. That is, it is solely for the purpose of Islamic rules or Islamic religion. And if it is made for any other purpose other than the Islamic principle, it will be void. So what are the terms and conditions regarding the bequests? the legatee and the revocation. So bequest is that under a will, no Muslim may bequeath more than one third of his net estate, and the subject matter of the property bequeathed must be present at the time of the death of the testator, and bequest must be corpus or usufruct or both. And if he bequests more than one third of his estate, the consent of the heirs of that person will be necessary to make a valid will, and it should always be made for any pious purpose. So this was about the bequest. Moving on, the legatee. Bequest must be may be made in the favor of any person irrespective of his religion, and it may be made to an institution or for a religious charitable object which is not opposed to Islam. That is, you can make it for any person or institution, but it should be regarding the principles of Islam. It should not oppose the principles of Islam. So a legatee who has killed the testator will be disqualified in this condition. He will not be anymore regarded as a legatee. So what are the terms and conditions regarding the revocation? Expressly or impliedly, the testator can revoke a bequest. For example, if A makes a will bequesting his farmhouse to B and later sells to C, so there is implied revocation. That is, you have first of all sell it to one person and then you cancel it or send it to another person. So this will be implied revocation. It will be an automatic revocation of that second transfer. And if the testator makes a second will, the first will is superseded. That is the same point as I have discussed earlier. Second will not be considered and the first will be considered. And if the same thing is given to two different persons in the same will, then the bequest is to be shared equally. That is, if you give if in your first will you give that property or you bequest that property to a person, it will be divided equally. So moving on to the so yeah, this was it, and I'll discuss, not making the video, stretching the video too long, I'll discuss the bequeathable third rule in detail in my next video. I'll also discuss about the abatement of legacies, the distribution of the property according to the will in my next video. So yeah, this is it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you guys have liked this video. So if you have any question, do ask me and share the feedback with me. Yeah, do not forget to like and share this video also. So thank you everyone for watching.